painting. It's called White Fire, Black Fire. We read that everything went down to us, being created in a form of black fire on top of white fire. This is very hard to understand. What is white fire? How everything went down? It's a very abstract thing to really to understand the whole concept of fire and relating colors to the fire and what they really represent. What is the symbolic thing behind it? What is it? Is it real? Is it? It's not? So in few minutes, I'm just gonna explain very brief what it's all about, as much as time allow me. This painting, as you see, is in black and white, and it's been painted. Mainly, all what you see has been created really with fire. When I came to deal with this topic, it was very hard for me to think about the materials, and then I said, okay, I'm going to represent fire, so let's paint with fire. And that's what I did. So I took torch, and with the different heat of the fire, I created the different shades. And then you have ink and polyurethane and my calligraphy, and that's all what the piece is containing. What it's really dealing with is explaining inside, as it says in the script, in the Sefer Yetzirah, what it represents. Esh shchora, black fire, on top, al gabe esh levana, white fire. The white fire represents the gvil, the parchment where for thousands of years we're writing our Torah. The black fire is the ink that we write the letters which make the script, which then we read it every Shabbat in the middle of the week as on the Torah itself. So again, what it represents, what it really says, it's telling us many things. One of the things is that everything went down within the chaos. Everything went down, and it was within the letters that been created the world. All the information was there. That's one thing. But the second thing, which is very, very, very big, very beautiful idea, is that it's telling us that in the parchment we're writing the letters. If that letter that we write it with a black ink, if we gonna cover that page with the ink, we won't recognize the letter anymore. If we will lose the track of understanding the letter, we won't understand the whole word, and we won't understand the script. Now the script contains information, so we basically lost big chunk of information there. So it's telling us, it's teaching us that for every letter that we write, we need to make sure that we're keeping the white space around it so the eye can recognize the shape. Once we recognize the shape, the letter got its own meaning. Now it's a beautiful by itself to understand this, that the letter really represents by the shape, and this is how we can feel and understand the energy of that letter. However, there is something deeper than that. As I study the Torah, as I study every week the Torah, I'm always trying to understand how it's going to help me to my life, to my daily life, how I am taking the subject I'm learning, the topic, and bring it to my daily life. Same thing in here. That black fire, esh levana, esh chora, the whole concept of what we're talking about is not staying within that pshat of simple understanding of really the play within our understanding the otio. This is not what it is. It is much deeper than that. And what it is really the same thing. We need not to clutter the page, the parchment with ink, so we can recognize the letter. The same thing, it's happening in our daily life with our actions, with our daily dues. When we get up in the morning and we filling up our days with so much information, so many acts and deeds and information and talks, and we stimulate and stimulate. In the end of the day, we can left off with nothing. We didn't pay attention through the day. We were not present in our action. And this is really, it's big because it's a meditating it's a meditate information that we're getting here, understanding that we have to be present in our action. We're taking action at a time, breathe, understand, learn, getting the most of it, and then move to the next one. And when we do that, then we really recognize our life. Then we really recognize our deed, our action. We can summary the accounts of what we're doing. Same thing with that script. And then in the end of the day, just like we have a page written with all these letters that created the words, that created a story, with our little thing that we create, and we were present there, we create a word, we create an action. Then with that action we created a story, and that story can be remembered and known and learned through our life. And this is what it is. It's a very deep, beautiful message that we have to each one of us, to meditate, to breathe, to be present in our life.